Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Hivemind Recap Podcast. July 2026 is done, and we are officially in the back half of the year. We've got 3 albums, 2 EPs, and a handful of singles to talk about this month. Yeah, Justin, Derek, Jacob, whole gang's here. How are we feeling on this Monday night?
It's a Monday.
It's a holiday.
It's definitely
today.
a Monday. Dude, what holiday is it up there?
Civic holiday.
What does that mean?
I don't remember.
Alright, well now I gotta look this up. Civic... Is it like, do you know if it's like for a specific historical event, or you guys just get some civic holidays?
I forget. I actually don't know. It's like the
Alright,
holiday I
let's
know the
see.
least about.
That feels like our Labor Day.
No, we have
Oh,
Labor
yeah.
Day.
Oh, you
Oh,
also have
okay,
Labor Day?
great.
Okay.
Awesome. No, so we're missing out on a holiday.
Do you guys have
Annual
Memorial Day?
Midsummer?
Victoria Day. Same weekend.
Okay.
An annual midsummer observance held on the first Monday in August. Huh.
Weird.
Interesting. Oh, it's known by different names in different provinces.
Oh, that's cool.
Fun fact.
Could be Saskatchewan Day, Harry Fox Day. Guess what? In New Brunswick, it's called New Brunswick Day. It's a little on the nose.
Wow.
Oh, man. Well, you know what? Good for you. I wish I had today off. Any Monday that I don't have to work is a good Monday for me. Everybody always wants stuff done on Monday. Pisses me off.
I kind of took today as a bit of an off day, kind of, because I could, because I freelance
Honorary
and shit,
Canadian.
and I also put in 52 hours in the last 8 days prior, so I kind of needed it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Do you get paid
Well, yeah.
overtime?
No, I don't. That's not how this
intentional.
works. I've got
I was
like
trying to manifest that for you. Come on.
I am waiting on thousands of dollars worth of payments from people that need to pay me for shit. So
Interesting.
they're all going to. It's all people that I've been working with for a while, but I just need them to actually send the money, please and thank you, before I leave for my.
You want the
international trip to
watermark
Iceland
taken
in
off
4
your
days.
video?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Get a fucking
You've got-
Shutterstock.
Yeah. You've got 3 people here willing to ride or die for you. If you need to put some external pressure on these, call me. We'll make it happen. I've got friends in high places, aka
He's gonna go all Vita Coco on their ass.
Yeah, I'll call up my guys at the Vita Coco Company in New York, and we'll get something going.
I'm just hoping I
I'm
get
well
paid for
connected.
most of it by the time I leave for Iceland this Friday. That's all I want.
Oh, yeah, that'll be. I feel like that would be key. How long are you gonna be in Iceland for?
8 days.
Oh hell yeah!
So-
Over a week is crazy.
Yeah. I'm very excited. Very, very excited.
Get ready for Eternal Day.
No, we've missed the 24-hour sunshine window.
Oh.
That's only
Well, it's
22
still-
now.
It's still so far north that it's like,
Yeah,
Right,
it
right,
sunsets at like 10:30 or something.
yeah, that's crazy.
Jeez. That's ridiculous. I've always wanted
Um,
to go to Iceland. I feel like it's really gorgeous. I assume you're going to take, well, not that your
Yes.
only purpose is to take pictures, but share the
Well,
pictures. once you take
that's
them.
a big reason why we're going. Is like the photography, and it also when the last eclipse passed through America back in 2024. The day that happened, I was scrolling Twitter, and little did I know, but on my For You page, the greatest thing that ever happened to my For You page was a tweet that said, the next total solar eclipse is going to pass through Reykjavik, Iceland in 2026.
Huh.
So I'm going to be in Iceland for the eclipse, and that's going to be pretty
Somebody fact
baller.
check it.
We have
Will I
very
actually get
different
to
For You
see it?
pages.
Am I going to be able to see the eclipse? Is it going to be an entirely cloudy sky? Flip a fucking coin. Those are the odds. But I'm
I hope you get to
optimistic, and
see-
either way, I'm gonna get to see a beautiful country. So
I would love for you to be able to see. Have you ever seen the Northern Lights before? Like just
no,
like,
and they aren't going to be visible until the end of August, so I won't have any chance of seeing them. But
lame. That's one of the biggest draws for me. There's like this. It's not Iceland, it's Sweden, but there's this hotel that's made entirely out of ice.
I
And
think I've
it's
heard
up,
of that.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super north, and one of my dreams is to go there and see, because I've always wanted to see the Northern Lights. But the closest I've gotten is when we had that freak like magnetic storm. I guess last year probably. Like that was cool. I could kind of see it in the distance, but like I'm trying to see some full colors, and it was. I think sitting there in an ice hotel, seeing the Northern Lights like fully in person would be. It'd be cold for sure. It'd be cold. The beds are also made out of ice. I'm pretty sure, and they just give you like a pelt to wrap yourself in. It's very
interesting.
It's interesting, but it's one of those things I feel like I have to experience. Like, where else am I gonna go sleep on a bed made of ice in a hotel made of ice? Nowhere. Where else am I gonna get a massive pelt? Probably nowhere.
Plot twist, it's Vita Coco frozen.
Now, dude, I'm going to be licking the shit out of that. Let me tell you.
I will not.
Be in there. There's not going to be a room left by the time I'm done, trust me.
You know those posts that like don't use a UV light in a hotel room?
Yeah. Like, it's cold enough. Everything will probably be dead. Even if it's not, I'm willing to take that risk.
There's gonna be like that kid from A Christmas Story with his tongue stuck to the fucking hotel.
Dude, can you imagine? The hotel staff walks in, I'm just sitting there with my tongue stuck to the bed. Like,
room service! Room service!
The phone is ice too, so it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Low-key, in like 5 years from now, if we're all still like doing this thing, we should line up a trip to go see the Northern Lights and go to a Swedish like metal festival in the same week.
That would require Derek to fix his relationship with Sweden.
Oh, yeah, that's
this episode we're gonna fix it.
I don't think we are.
We should put the other.
On that note, if you want to keep up with the podcast, you can follow us on social media, Hivemind Radio _ on Instagram and Twitter, Hivemind Radio on YouTube. We are approaching 500 subscribers. We appreciate any subscribers helping us get there. And Hivemind Recap Podcast on Spotify and other podcast platforms. And also join our Discord server. Talk about music with us. We like that. We're pretty active in there. You can share new bands with us. You can talk about bands that you like. You can self-promo in the self-promo channel if you want. Join our Discord server. We're trying to grow that thing. We got 10 singles to get through to start us off. And up first is a band that we have not talked about in close to a year. It's a band that we did an interview with for our After Hours podcast a number of years ago now. Rivals have signed to Epitaph Records and have released a new single, Bite the Bullet.
Pterodactyl.
The pterodactyl. Bro, has it really been almost a year since we talked about them?
Yeah, what was it? The Medusa's Home EP? Year. Yeah, that was August last year.
Holy shit. I thought that was like December. Very like...
No, it was August last year.
All right, well, there goes my sense of time. Further lost as the decade progresses.
But yeah, Rivals, they've signed with Epitaph. They're back on a label after being independent for a few years. As far as I'm aware, this is going to be the lead single for their next album. I believe I've seen them mention that they're working on the next album, so I'd have to imagine that this is a part of it. Maybe it isn't. I know Epitaph has done the thing where they sometimes just do a standalone single, like with Never Tell and Shut Your Mouth. But if this is on the next album, I'm optimistic. This is a great song. Kaylee sounds as good as ever. The breakdown at the end is really cool. I continue to maintain that there are a few bands that know how to write an incredible bridge the way that Rivals does. Every single one of their songs, also, the bridge is just incredible.
This is also co-produced by Raul of Never Tell, which makes sense. This is their best song since Fake Rich.
Interesting. I can't agree with that, but it's up there.
I couldn't get into Maneater or Medusa's Home, but Fake Rich was always my favorite.
I will say, I feel like as they continue to get bigger, and they're almost at 500,000 monthly listeners now, which is absolutely crazy. I feel like to the Epitaph signing is going to do a lot for them. They've been really doing a great job playing the quote-unquote social media game. And if there's any band that deserves it, it's them. But as they've gotten bigger, I feel like the production value on their songs has as well. And I love how like kind of full and complete this song sounds. It feels like there are a few bands that I feel like have such marked continuous improvement as Rivals have, but it feels like they're constantly on an upward trajectory to me, which is incredibly impressive, and it shows. One of my favorite things that they've done within that last EP and with this song is contrasting instances or like sections of softer vocals or whispers as they've gotten heavier and heavier with the guitars. It's a trend we've seen in the last couple of years, I'd say, but Rivals pulls it off so well. I'm thoroughly impressed with this song. I hope that this is a lead single and not a one-off, because like you said, Epitaph loves a good little one-off single every once in a while before an album. This song is way too good. I don't care what you have to do. If it's not on an album, get it in there. Because
I'm
Kaylee
sure
and the whole band are just so impressive.
Yeah. I'm sure it's going to be because Sacrifice from Never Tell was on an album. Obviously,
yeah, but Shut Your Mouth.
Shut Your
Mouth wasn't. So.
Yeah, but that wasn't the lead single.
I am fairly confident this is going to be on the album, because if you look at the production value on the music video, I don't know if you guys have seen the music video, but they're going with a very medieval theme with this. And that makes me think that they're going to tie like a bunch of medieval themes into the entire rollout for this next album cycle. I don't feel like they would go that hard on the music video if it weren't for a conceptual album theming meta for something or other.
For ye old album. Fine.
I am really torn. I would love to try and make it out to the Never Tell headliner with Rivals as support. They're playing in Worcester in a month or two, and I would love to make it out there, but I don't know if I can. Two of my favorite bands, and I might not be able to see them in one night. It's tragic.
Justin, I'm going to trust you. Are they coming anywhere near me or no?
Ooh, Rivals?
Yeah, Never Tell and Rivals. Let me see.
Shit, I don't
Investigating.
think so.
Looking. I feel like everybody's been on the medieval arc now with since even in Arcadia.
No, the tour's not coming to us.
Honestly.
I don't think.
Oh. Well, that sucks. It would be really cool to see, because I haven't seen very many live videos of them, and I remember seeing Rivals supporting Tillian back in 2018, and they weren't opening to very many people, and they had an incredible stage presence, and I would love to see 8 years later. Can't believe it's been 8 years, by the way. Holy shit. Landon Tours was so fucking gone for that show, by the way.
I remember you talking about that.
Dude, he was like moaning daddy into the mic and just like losing his shit on stage. It was incredible.
He was okay during the whatever tour he did with that featured the old Omarosa songs.
Oh, yeah, I saw him in 2024. He was fine, but...
Yeah, that had Sun Sleep and A Foreign Affair. That was good.
Oh, God. Still need to see Sun Sleep live. I saw Devin perform the Twilight concert before I saw
You did see that. But if anything, I've already seen both Rivals and Never Tell twice before. So it's not like you guys who haven't seen them in years and years. So
I don't think I've ever seen Never Tell.
No.
I was supposed to see them together.
Yeah, their closest show, I think, is Allentown, PA.
Oh, good. Drive up to Pennsylvania real quick.
I know that's not close.
No. I'm pretty sure it's further than Philly is, and Philly's 5.5 hours. So I'm not making like a 6-hour drive up to Allentown. I'm sorry to say. They would have paid for my flight.
Me maybe not being able to make the 1.5-hour drive to Worcester.
Yeah, whatever, man.
Yeah. Me not being able to make the hour subway ride to whatever that concert was.
Dude, if I could just hop on a subway and go somewhere, I would. 6 hours? Why not? Sure. I'll take a 6-hour subway. If I don't have to drive, fuck yeah, just let me sit there.
I've done that. And it was an experience.
An experience for sure.
Yep. I took a train from Krakow in Poland all the way to Prague through hours of rural farmland.
Sounds like Iowa.
That sounds awesome.
Not too dissimilar to Iowa, with other than the hundreds of years of history that would happen every once in a while.
Probably a lot more Polish people too, I would guess.
Yes. Anyways, next song. We have Ninth Key, which is Echo and Low Spirit's new band, releasing new single "Happy Feels Like." They released technically their first single under the Ninth Key name, If I Wasn't Me, back in May. This is the second single. They've technically rebranded two prior singles, Hello Loneliness and Good Things, under this band as well. So I don't know what any of that means in regards to if there's like an EP or album associated with any of those 4 songs, but at the very least, this is either the 2nd or 4th ninth key song. And
now you go for it, Jake. Sorry.
We didn't talk about If I Wasn't Me, even though we've talked about Echo and Low Spirit before. I'm assuming because none of us really found it that compelling. Or May was just a crazy month, probably. This is one of my favorite songs of July. This shit slaps. The way that these two bounce off of each other is... It's just so perfect. It's like... You can tell when 2 guys just like have that natural chemistry. And I feel like you can really feel that in this song.
It's like me and Justin, low-key. Justin, do you feel our natural chemistry?
I feel it. It's almost like we're an hour and a half away.
I feel your pull. I'm coming to Norfolk. Sorry, I also want to say, it makes me, this is your sign to always do your research, because I did not click on this artist page, and I was like, wow, the ninth key singer kind of sounds like Low Spirit. Where's the feature? I can't tell what the difference is. I was like, oh, you saying that makes a lot more sense now. This sounds like a Lost Light era Linkin Park a little bit. They killed the vibe together. I haven't heard or listened to your point about us not being enthused. I haven't listened to any of the other songs by them. But this makes me want to.
I can confirm that Good Things, the single from a couple years ago, is incredible, because Echo did that one live when I saw him opening for Dayseeker last summer. And that song, hearing it live was the first time I'd ever heard it live, and I went back after the show to find the song, and I'm like, yeah, this shit fucks.
I think the pre-chorus in this especially reminds me of the verses from Bad Things by I Prevail. Like, there's a very similar cadence to them, and it's a delivery that I really enjoy. The chorus is way too catchy.
It is. I had that written down. Do you want to say it, Derek? You have it written down?
Nah, go for it, man.
Okay. After all of this time, after every goodbye, I just want to know what happy feels like. Because I've been wasting my time always chasing a lie. I just want to know what happy feels like. Bars!
Yeah, they nailed it. To your point, Jake, these guys have such natural chemistry with one another. It sounds so natural. It flows so well. I think I like this more than anything. No shade, but I like this more than anything off that Low Spirit album from earlier this year.
I might be with you.
It's the contrast of vocals. And I think that, also to that same point, this is probably my favorite thing that I've ever heard Echo on. Just that...
Safe House?
When you have... Oh. Okay, this is the second best thing I've ever heard Echo on. I can't discount Safe House, man. That song's way too good. But, yeah, no, it just works so well. They play off of each other so well. It's the right kind of... The hip-hop verses aren't too harsh. Both of them have such a kind of flowy, airy delivery to it. I need more from this project expeditiously, because this is a great sign of things to come.
Yeah, I mean, I think I said basically everything I wanted to. Just the contrast in vocals, just all throughout the song. The chorus is massive. Just, it's so well done. Up next, we have Lakeview with brand new song Kill Me First featuring The Ghost Inside. We are good for Lakeview to drop one countrycore song featuring a metalcore artist about every other year. And here it is. Yeah. Here's the heavy one.
It's certainly a song of all time that released in July 2026. I'll tell you that.
We love The Ghost Inside here.
Right? Who is we? Who the fuck is
sarcasm.
we?
Sarcasm.
Oh my god, yeah. Jake, I think if your response to ask me to listen to this again, my response would be kill me first. I think.
I was hoping that Because I remember you were a fan of Money Where Your Mouth Is from like 2 years ago.
I am no longer a fan of Money Where Your Mouth Is.
I was hoping maybe we'd strike again, but no, alright, that's fine. Like you are doing that kind of country rock thing with like a little bit of influence in the metalcore side of things from time to time, and you know, there's only a couple bands doing it out there right now. And I feel like of all the bands that are doing it out there, Lakeview are doing it pretty damn good.
They are certainly doing it. For sure they're doing it. Speaking of Iowa, I think this is another one. For the uninitiated and uninformed, the first line of the chorus is, "I'll be buried in a truck bed," which is, of all the country cliches, this is somehow a new one, which is impressive. It's also the most country thing I've heard in my entire life.
Exactly. That's what makes it awesome.
I think that the general vibe of this song is like, speaking of Iowa, like 38-year-old divorced man in Iowa, like on his way to a bonfire. And once he gets to the bonfire, he's going to like complain about his bitch ex-wife and how she won't let him see the kids. I feel like that's the target demographic for this song. I don't think that this is my cup of tea. And I say this as somebody who, as much as it pains me to say it, enjoys country music. It's too, I feel like the rock country or like metal and country vibe brings a lot of potential aggressive implications, maybe leading to like domestic violence. And I feel like this song is giving domestic violence to me. I'm not a big fan, I have to say.
You know, you're entitled to an opinion.
For sure.
If I'm allowed to have Bad Take Jake, you're allowed to have takes on domestic violence in a song.
Yeah,
cool. That's a phrase that I've heard today. That is
certainly one of the phrases of all time that we've said.
We are just four guys speaking into microphones, into the void of the internet.
And we have as much speaking into the microphone on this
song. Have as much authority as the people that listen to our rambling give us.
Yeah, true. Oh my god, yeah.
To kind of get into more specifics, I found the chorus of this song to be fairly catchy. Instrumentally, I like when this band gets a little bit heavier. I enjoyed the song. I enjoyed the mix of genres going on here.
I will say for all the other comments I had to say about it, Lakeview consistently does have a really good ear for melody, and there's a certain pop sensibility that comes with country, because, well, a lot of country music sounds the same, especially in the terms of the structure of the songs, but it does make it very easy to make a catchy song, and I do think that they nailed that here. Even if it's
Did you ever listen to their debut album?
I did. It was fine. It really, to me, felt like a lot of the same over and over, except for those moments, like the heavier moments with the Gideon feature type of deal. Mm-hmm. Which was great. I did enjoy it up until I actually, like, my brain engaged for like half a second, and I listened to the lyrics, and I'm like, yeah, I can't do it. I really can't. It's the same sort of way I feel about the Wage War EP, or at the very least, Song of the Swamp. But at the very least, that's giving a little bit of a different vibe that I got from this song.
Lakeview, for me, are never going to be like one of my favorite bands, but I'm always good for like one of their songs to really resonate with me. Is like, I can listen to this on repeat for a bit every once in a while. I was not the biggest fan of that debut album, but there were definitely a handful of songs in there that I'm like, yeah, I really enjoy these.
And there aren't very many bands doing this sort of sound, to be fair.
Jacob. Next.
Don't look at me like that, Jacob.
Yeah, James Lee has released The Reckoning.
Now,
what a chorus.
I don't know if I'm mistaken, but is this not the heaviest song that he's put out so far?
I have no idea.
It's
heavier than the last one we talked about.
Yeah.
And that kind of surprised me. I didn't expect him to go this heavy on a song.
I don't know if his voice is used to it either.
It doesn't sound like it, honestly. But it also, I feel like it adds to, because it's so raw, I feel like it adds to the song in its own way. It definitely does sound like he's not as used to it. But if he's willing to push himself, there could definitely be something for sure.
Yeah, for me, it's the chorus. It's just even when the waves crash down, I don't know how it goes, but it's just so catchy.
I feel like that's kind of I feel like we've said good catchy chorus for every song so far. I feel like that's just a trend for this month's playlist. Like, it's not that like in past months we're talking about songs that have bad choruses or anything, but I feel like maybe the chorus isn't always the highlight, whereas I feel like in pretty much every song in this playlist, the chorus is like the highlight of the song.
Yeah.
At least for the singles.
I would say, and I think this is Bad Omen's impact, honestly. But just that, like, there is a general greater willingness for pop sensibility to be included in this style of music. I feel like as the decade has gone on and there's a lot less gatekeeping, just in general, but also sonically. And I feel like that's reflected in how pop-inspired people are willing to be nowadays. Well, and especially, too, with like how the prevalence of TikTok.
I forgot about that era. Where the people were like, oh, that's the metalcore.
Oh my god, it was so fucking obnoxious. There's this guy singing a chorus and it's kind of stuck in my head. This can't be metalcore. Where are the zeros and the ones?
I hated that.
Dude,
I hated that.
It was so bad. To be fair, though, there was a very rapid influx of a lot of really fucking annoying people. So I don't blame them for wanting to gatekeep. But we've mellowed out. We found a happy medium. The people that were new are now kind of chilled out, I feel like.
Pretty annoying at shows.
Well, true, but you know, you can't win them all.
Maybe they were right.
It can't be as bad.
Maybe those guys are right.
I mean, it can't be as bad as it was in 2023. That was a dark time. But
I feel like it was before that even.
Yeah, true. TikTok is just a net negative to society. I feel like. I say that as somebody who doom scrolls on it very often. I'm just like,
as someone who partially has his bills paid by editing TikToks, I can't say you're too far off.
some of the trends I see of like what keeps video or like viewer retention, or like I'll watch a random bit that's like edited for like what, like 6 or, oh my gosh, I almost said 6 or 7 year olds, and my brain just instantly like had like a fight or flight for, I'll say 5 to 8 year olds. And like the way that they're keeping their attention span and the like how quickly things change, or like some of the stuff that my nephews and my niece watch, I'm like, this can't be good for your development. This I sound like a boomer, but there's like flashing lights.
Did you know
and
it's
things
like
change every
I'm pretty
2
sure
seconds.
it's like scientifically proven that SpongeBob makes you stupider.
Really? Well, I think I'm gonna keep watching it.
You know when they were the episode where they're blowing bubbles and
oh yeah,
it's like he blows an elephant shape and he's like, it's a giraffe.
Yeah, dude, Patrick is awesome. Don't diss my man P Star.
I'm not dissing it.
That's my day one. Pull up on like, I don't know, Larry the Lobster or Bubble Buddy.
That's true. No,
pull up on those guys. Those are my ops.
Pearl.
No way you've got beef with Pearl.
I don't know.
Out of all the characters, you've got beef with Pearl.
Yeah. No. I wanted to comment on the album art. It is the same as Reverse, which released last year, except he's all bloody.
Oh,
I didn't notice that. Let me give this a look. I need to look at this.
Oh shit, it is. Okay, wait. Maybe album project announcement incoming? Question mark.
Yeah. And there's also a reflection.
Don't think
it also kind of looks AI-ified.
Bro, he said, I want you to make me look drippy, and the guy got the wrong message.
All right, let's go back to the Swedish hotel.
Go back? We haven't been there.
Well, you know.
Go back to discussing about it.
I've been there in spirit. thinking about Vita Coco. Imminence have dropped their newest single, Crestfallen.
And an album announcement.
Oh, really? When is it coming out?
October 2nd?
That sounds right to me.
Ooh.
Yeah. Featuring singles, Sword That Never Bends, and Crestfallen.
And the other one.
And the other one.
Yep. Certainly the song of all time.
So, Crestfallen's pretty good, guys, right?
But not as good as The Sword That Never Bends.
I agree. Yeah, it's a good song. I feel like Crestfallen is more natural to Imminence and their history. It's more of what I would have expected from Imminence.
Mm-hmm.
I also feel like this is maybe the closest that they've sounded to Turn the Light On since that album.
Agreed.
Well, I think we talked about this a little bit in the last one, but the success of God-Fearing Man seems like they're taking it to heart, except for that other song that we won't talk about. But we're kind of going back a little, and I'm pretty excited for this album now that we are dropping the heaviness a little bit. At least I hope. It seems to be anyway.
Yeah, and I feel like it flows a lot better than most of their previous songs from the last couple of years. I think it was your point, Jake. It definitely feels a little bit more natural. I'm still feeling like whatever they're doing just isn't working for me. I'm low-key giving up. I hate to say it, but I think that this band might not just be for me, which is kind of upsetting because I really did love Turn the Light On. But yeah, it feels like I'm like, oh, I wish they'd do this. And then they do it, and I'm like, wow, this still feels like it's a little flat. And I'm like, well, I guess it just might not be my time.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel.
They have a identity locked down, but it feels like now they're playing it too safe, and I feel like it would be great if I liked this band a little bit more from the bass line, but okay, saving it. Well, let's put a pin in it. Let's put a pin in it and circle back, Jake.
I agree. Just like we circle back to the Swedish Ice Hotel.
Exactly. A great place to circle back to. Many are saying this.
There's a reference. I can't remember what song it is, but the couldn't see the forest from the trees is a reference to another song they've done. I can't remember which song it is off right now, but it might be Heaven in Hiding.
I guess that would be something if I'm gonna be interested in an Imminence album. I would love some sort of storyline or callback to be able to attach to. So that could be something. If they are doing callbacks like that, and there's a larger story that I could get invested in for an album, for sure. I think I'd be much more willing to give their current sound another chance. Oh, okay. That was off the 2021 album, right?
Yep. That was off of
one of Imminence's best songs, by the way, and one of my favorite songs of theirs, and I could not recognize that lyric from it. So I think that says a lot about one of my favorite Imminence songs.
I'm just here for violins, man.
Well, they certainly do that, so. Justin, you've got a stretch of singles here. It's kind of funny how this playlist has worked out, where it's just a bunch of stretches of singles from each of us.
Yeah, that's how timing works.
From each of us.
We got Coldrain back after a little bit, dropping their new single Ex Humanity off of an upcoming album, dropping September 25th.
Is this the title track, perchance?
No, it's a combination of an EP that dropped last year and a couple other songs. There's a feature by The Used
Really?
And Crossfaith, yes.
On the same
Crossfaith
song?
feature?
No, on two separate songs on the album.
Okay.
I'm just saying, the Crossfaith feature has potential for feature of the year for me.
And this
They're
song is
not a
actually
band
already
anymore,
pretty
are they?
good.
I think they're just on a hiatus.
Okay.
It's featuring the vocalist of Crossfaith. So, who knows?
I don't remember.
Yeah,
so this song is really good.
Yeah, I knew Justin and I, we were going to be on the same page for this one from the moment that we first talked about it the night it came out. This is coldrain's best song in years. There's a reason we have not talked about this band in years. And there's a reason we are talking about this song. This is the catchiest chorus they've had in forever. Some of the best vocal delivery, some of the best instrumentation, most memorable riff that this band has come up with in years. Just like everything. This band has kind of pissed me off for the past few years because I listen to their songs and I'm like, dude, this band is so fucking good. Adds it to playlist, listens to it, never again. And just like, why? Like, why? Actually, why though? Like, you make good music that I have, for one reason or another, just zero attachment to. And no matter how many times I listen to it, it's not memorable anymore. This is the first song of theirs, maybe since 2019, honestly, that I feel like this is going to have some staying power with me.
I think for me, it's the frequency they've dropped songs, because it's not irregular, but it's at a rate where they fall off and then put out a song just to put interest back and then kind of fall off again. At least to me. And that's
the singles. You weren't listening to the singles leading into the EP last year, but I was keeping up with all the singles and just.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've heard them like once or twice. Like I think I can remember Freefall and Chasing Shadows.
I don't.
No.
I don't remember if we put any of them in the playlist.
No,
I don't think so.
If any, Chasing Shadows, but it was it's a good EP, but nothing really stand out as far as I'm concerned. And I feel like that's kind of just been coldrain's shtick for the past few years.
I was going to say, they're always good, but very fairly great, or very rarely, I should say. And this, to be fair, honestly, this one falls in that same bucket for me. I'm not feeling it the same way you guys are, but it's undeniably good. They're talented at what they do. I just wish that what they do would be consistently above like a 7 out of 10. So there's something that I could latch onto and go back to your point. But I don't know. I'll always give a coldrain song a try. Why not? It could be the next Insomnia could be lurking out there. I'll always give them a chance. Yeah, I'd say so. Although, I don't think coldrain's ever done anything as good as Bend, if I'm being honest.
I think you're right.
Yeah. I wish Volumes would do more Bend. They need to be more flexible.
They tried. They put out an album that's like a lot of that sound, and no one talked about it.
I don't think I listened to it.
And Michael Barr took my favorite song of his off of his solo Spotify too. So now I've got double beef. I had to download that shit off of YouTube and put it into my local files. Pissed me off. I DM'd him about it on Instagram. I was like, this can't be happening. Put it back on there. He hasn't responded. I've yet to make contact with Big M Bar. Unfortunately. Big M Bar. Well, dude, I got like 430 plays on the song. What do you mean you're taking it off Spotify? So now, it's all right. I forgive and forget. Well,
I don't know if you will.
I won't forget, but I'll forgive for sure.
Justin, keep us going.
Yeah, Transient have dropped Learn to Breathe, which is the second track off of an upcoming EP. I don't know when it is.
This band continues to prove their consistency. But this time, guitar solo!
I think this is my single of the month.
Really? Interesting.
It is the single that stuck with me throughout the most of the month. Mind you, I didn't listen to too much music that released this month, but Transient, like you said, Jig, are incredibly consistent. I fell in love with their EP about 2 years ago, Reveries and Rituals. And this is phenomenal. There's something about the vocals, Trey's vocals are just phenomenal. Even like watching the music video, even it's got that sense of like nostalgia where there isn't like a high production value and you really don't need that. But the vocals are crisp, the sound is electric. It works. It's that modern rock metalcore mixed together in a way that not many bands are like doing much anymore. Like Enemy is probably the bigger one that I can think of.
I was gonna say.
It's like they're really leaning into the hard rock side of the genre with just taste of metalcore, whereas I feel like a lot of other bands that are kind of trying to do this thing are either just doing like post-hardcore or they're trying to do metalcore with influences of hard rock, which just doesn't work the same. To me, as I said, guitar solo. Yes.
Always a fan of a good solo. So you bring up Enemy. I feel like I'm willing to loop this band in with Enemy as bands that sound like they should probably be playing stadiums. And they've got great stadium rock. And then I go to their artist page and they're way smaller than they sound like they are. It's kind of ridiculous at this point.
And it like feels like they tour a lot more locally and aren't really on the big bills. And it's entirely criminal.
Yeah, this is the type of music and the enthusiasm for this kind of music that feels like it was just meant for a big stage.
You put this band in front of a Memphis May Fire audience, and the audience eats it up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they 100%. Just need one big show, and they're going to blow up.
The talent and passion is there for sure. You can hear it.
Speaking of talent and passion, we got Softspoken, frequent flyers of the podcast, dropping their new single Omni off of an upcoming album. This is the lead single.
This has me excited. Oh, you have thoughts? Okay, Jake,
I have thoughts.
Go.
No,
have
you
thoughts.
guys all go
Say
first.
Thoughts.
You guys all go first.
Uh-oh. All right, well, before Jake does his normal bad take Jake things, I really love the way that the song is structured. The pickup in energy, especially with the drumming on the second verse, I felt like the song flowed really, really well, and I feel like that's something that Softspoken has kind of come into their own in, that they maybe struggled a little bit with more in the past. There was just a brief, I don't know if it's a drum or what, but a little electronic section before the breakdown that reminded me a little bit of Mobbin' Out by I See Stars. And it was a very kind of nostalgic little 3 or 4 second clip that I thought was really, really well placed and really added to the energy of the breakdown. Choruses, I thought fantastic. Softspoken's vocalist continues to impress me. I think that this is... wait, before I lie. Hold on. So I don't want to lie to you. Okay, this is my favorite song of theirs since I Against Me, I would say. Ooh. That's still my favorite of theirs, but this is high up there. I really enjoyed this. If this is on an album, I'm very excited for that album because they've shown a lot of potential with this as the lead single.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I love the last chorus where the vocals increase in tempo, and it's got additional layering to it. Really is very good. I felt the breakdown was a little bit out of place.
Yeah.
I wish instrumentally instead of a breakdown, it was more of a bridge akin to like Awaken I Am, House of Cards, where it's just like a vocal bridge that leads into like an instrumental breakdown instead. I kind of was hoping for that, but that doesn't take me out of the song. I still think the sum is better, and I can look past it just for, couple seconds. It's otherwise great. And like you said, Derek, it's got me very hopeful for whatever an album's gonna be.
Well, and to your point too, I feel like with the amount of variance in tempo that the different verses had, and especially the last chorus as well, second verse, an instrumental bridge or a vocal bridge would have worked well. I think that there's enough there that you don't need the breakdown to differentiate the parts. I think it's fine as it is, but I probably would have preferred a bridge now that you put that idea in my head. So I'll, you know what? Maybe you know how like when I reorder albums and fix them, in my head I'll just play like a vocal and instrumental bridge every time I hear the song. I'll just imagine that it's there. It's fun. If I hallucinate hard enough. All right. Jake has been very patient and quiet. Jake, give us your bad opinion.
Yeah. I mean, you guys kind of segued into what I wanted to say, in that I have not been so angry at a breakdown in a song since Masterpiece by Motionless in White. There has not been a breakdown that has ruined my first reaction of a song in such a drastic manner. The way that this song killed my joy and enthusiasm and excitement that Softspoken were about to finally release my favorite song of theirs, until that breakdown came in and I just like sat back in my chair and sighed, added it to my playlist, and listened to it one time for the rest of the month. Like that breakdown,
but it made it into the playlist though.
It made it into the playlist, but I genuinely cannot think of another song that a breakdown has killed my excitement to want to go back to it in the way that my excitement to go back to this song was killed by this song's breakdown. I need Softspoken to drop the metalcore act, stop screaming, make Beautiful Death by Slaves 2.0 like this song should have been, and just stop screaming, please. I want to love this song so badly, because the first 2 minutes of this song are the best thing that Softspoken has ever done. And then the breakdown hits and I'm just like, why am I even here? Just to suffer? Just to be disappointed?
Passionate.
I think this song is definitely a good example of what they can do and what this album is probably going to sound like. I really want to see some kind of variance, not too much either way. I want to see them kind of hone in on what they're good at. But I do like surprises, and the breakdown was a surprise in kind of a different direction than what I was looking for. So I'm very interested to see how the rest of the album sounds. It'll probably be like maybe next year we'll get it, like late next year, I assume, mid.
Softspoken are another one of those bands that are kind of a victim of the, I will add every single one of your songs into my playlist and never listen to it again, just in the same way that I do with Coldrain. And in the same way that I do, Revnar is another fantastic example of a band that is really fucking talented, that every time I listen to one of their songs, I enjoy it, and then I add it to my playlist, and I see it in my playlist, and I never click it. And it pisses me off!
You gotta start paring down, Jake. I've been on some spring cleaning in the summer to pare down my playlist.
There is no spring cleaning a playlist with 9,400 songs.
You gotta start somewhere. Mine was at like 2,000. I'm down to like 1,600 now.
There are so many. Right. There are. You know what? Maybe. I probably have to like duplicate the playlist from scratch and then just like start removing shit.
The key is to just put it on shuffle, and if you're happy with what you hear, just keep it. You get to. It's a win-win because you either get to listen to songs that you forgot about that you enjoy, or songs you already remember and enjoy, or you get to some shit you're like, wow, I don't like this song anymore. Gone. Absolutely.
Then there's some songs that I'm like, maybe I'll enjoy this in a different mood.
No, you have to be ruthless. It doesn't matter. The playlist, it doesn't matter what the mood is. If I'm not vibing with it, get it out of here. I need to be able to hit shuffle and chill at any given point.
I'm vibing to the Softspoken song in my ears right now. So this song needs to stay in the playlist, but...
Exactly. And then just listen to it more, because then you're like, oh, wow, yeah, I'm vibing to this. Maybe I should seek it out in my playlist. I'm telling you, it's elite, Jake. Your life will be transformed. Your playlist, it'll be the greatest playlist anybody's ever seen. Nobody does playlists like you, Jake.
Sure, there is only Sure, I need to look this up. Surely there's no other playlists on Spotify called "Good Shit, My Dude."
Surely
there's
like
only
400 songs.
Surely
With the
there-
hedgehog, no.
Yeah, I think there's only one playlist called that on Spotify. If I had to take a guess. Anyways,
what vocalist like put you on their story? What was it?
Concrete
Against the
Castles,
Current, or was it
07.
Okay.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Please come
What's
back.
that, man?
God,
I don't think that's up
this is
to
9,000 shit.
I
I
was gonna
wouldn't
say,
want.
man,
I
nine-
wouldn't want to sort through this shit.
A playlist with 9,400 songs would give me anxiety. I don't even think I have that many liked songs. How many do I have? Yeah, I've only got 6,800 liked songs. I can't imagine.
You see, that's the difference. My playlist is just my liked songs. I don't like songs on Spotify.
Oh, brother! No wonder. Yeah, we gotta fix this expeditiously. I think you need the. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you how you should structure the music that you listen to. Actually, yeah. Like if you can tell Softspoken where to put
let's
their
just all
breakdowns,
switch
I'm
to
gonna tell
Apple
you what
Music.
to- Yeah, right.
No.
Speaking of music, we got any final thoughts on Softspoken?
Nope. I've aired my grievances.
We've talked
Alright.
about this for like 10 minutes.
I know. I'm
It's
getting us
important.
back on track. Jacob, go for it.
We got my buddy Onesimus and his buddy Angel Suba with their new song Echoes.
Mosquito down?
Sorry, there was a fly.
Fly down? Alright.
I don't know if the clap came through, but
Oh, it did.
definitely-
it did.
Okay, perfect. Well,
Would you
know,
clap for
I'm
this
just time
instrumental
stamping.
song?
Yes, I would. I would very much clap for this instrumental song. This is incredible. I think this is Onesimus's best song, or at the very least, my favorite of his.
It's like almost like, what's the word we always use? Psychedelic.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I don't know, maybe I should get into instrumental music, but yeah, it's just I'm in like a trance of how like impressed I am, as well as like it's also like really easy to listen to.
I think
But you
that's
can
like a
also
trap
listen
that
to it
I
on a
love.
more technical level and be like, wow, these dudes are really talented
Exactly.
at the same time,
Yeah,
which is very hard to pull off.
It's very easy for instrumental music, I feel like, to be structured in a way that it loses the listener at some point in. I think Polyphia, as just a larger example, do a good job of, for the most part, keeping the listener interested. And I think that this does that in spades. It's so impressive and clean, but not overly produced. But it's clear enough that you can hear and appreciate all the instruments being played. As well as the technical guitar work on this is ridiculous. That little kind of solo about 2 minutes in was probably my favorite part of it. I'm always a sucker for a solo, but
Yeah, I'm totally with you there. Because, like, you also get that section, I think, just before it, where, like, you get kind of an electronic pitching on the guitar as well that's really fucking cool. Then you get that guitar solo bit right after. That was definitely my favorite part of the song.
And he ended off with a breakdown.
I will
what
say,
is Angel's
this song
role
would
on
go
this?
crazy
I
with
think he
vocals.
I mean,
They're
it
both
would,
fine.
but they're both. I mean, it's one of those times.
It's
where
a very
like,
good
this would go
instrumental
crazy with
song,
vocals,
But it would also go very good with vocals.
I would be afraid that vocals would hide how impressive and technical the playing is. Be my concern. I don't, because there's what's a band out there that does that? Oh yeah, Born of Osiris.
Unprocessed.
Well, that works too. Yeah, I would say that both of them would be better as instrumental bands, personally, but I guess that comes down to personal preference. I know this is incredible. Is this self-produced as well?
I'm gonna say yes, but I don't know for sure.
They have a great, well, even just with the solo stuff, Onesimus definitely has a great ear for production. But yeah, it's
There
one
is
of
a
the.
music video.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Did not know this.
I watched the music video because I was downloading all the songs for editing beforehand, and I saw the music video.
I'll have to watch it.
Yeah, so they're both playing guitar.
Okay. Well,
oh my gosh, I know where this is.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Local hometown hero.
That's how I felt when, not that I enjoy Boundaries, but they put out a casting call for a music video filmed at the Webster, which is my local venue in Hartford. So when I saw the music video and I saw that little room that I've been at like 8 fucking times, I'm like, I know that place.
I love the disclaimer beforehand. You're like, just for the record, I really don't like Boundaries, but I remember music video.
I wish I could like Boundaries because they're like one of the most prominent Connecticut bands to like become popular in the past few years. It kind of sucks. I feel like I don't like metalcore bands from Connecticut. Like, I'm really iffy on Currents. Dreamwake has not really resonated with me much. Boundaries are often too heavy for me. Half-Hearted disappeared. Where's my Connecticut metal music to enjoy?
Connecticut is to you as to what Germany is to me. I think that's a great way of putting it. We need somebody from Connecticut to pull out and have peace talks.
There's a new Connecticut band that released a debut single this month that was actually really fucking good and sounded like Until I Wake, and I forgot to put it in this playlist. My bad.
Oh, Jake, this is your sign. They are your Neovice. Neovice has come for peace talks from Germany and me. Your band's come for peace talks between you and Connecticut. It's time.
Bro,
2026 is the year of mending bridges.
That Electric Callboy song was atrocious.
Oh my god,
it was really bad. It was. Really bad.
I might have to update my doc. Actually, I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, superlative worst song of the year.
Maybe.
I don't know if
that band is falling off.
It's a contender. It's a contender. We got one single left in the playlist now. To get back on track here, Justin, explain yourself.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I was up to some bullshit again. I found a new band.
Can you do that?
No. Ghostwave have dropped their new single, Paradise.
Justin, this is maybe the best band that you have discovered all year.
So, fun fact. I found this band from TikTok. And literally while we're doing the podcast, I was looking into it. This is a new vocalist. Put out an EP last year. And since then, within the last couple of weeks, have replaced the vocalist. This vocalist is phenomenal, by the way.
We freed you from the paywall. You're free.
Am I good?
You're good.
Ouija board him back in. Oh my god, another fucking bug. God damn it.
He's a vocalist of another band called Duskhaven. They're great as well. I literally just found them in the last 5 minutes. I'm gonna listen to them afterward. Because that's how my brain fucking works. But this song is great. It's got a mix of progressive metal with gent in the instrumentation. Fucking amazing. It's great. If I didn't find this literally Saturday and had more time with it, this would probably try and compete with Transient. It would lose, but it is what it is.
No, this wins over Transient in my mind.
Yeah, this is great. I love the lead into the chorus, the second verse into a very surprising electronic breakdown. It's great. Like, I'm stoked to have found this band, and I'm really excited to see where they go, because there isn't much more to say other than like it's great.
Well, I was gonna say my interpretation of this when I first heard it was like, I'm trying. Okay, like what's the for fans of, like, how can I try and pitch people on this small band when there's like a million small bands out there, right? And to me, it's like, we're all fans of Inertia here, so like that's a good starting point. That's the closest analysis that I could come to. That this band reminds me a lot of Inertia with the vocal range and the production and the instrumentation. But then in some of the breakdowns and guitar riffs that you get to this song, it really reminds me of Currents in the instrumentation. Like, especially in that second verse breakdown. Like that guitar section really reminds me of Currents. But then there's like other parts of it that remind me of Softer Fit for a King, with a song like No Tomorrow, or what's where the Sky song from the 28 Dark Skies album, whatever, When Everything Means Nothing, that's the name of it, right?
Oh yeah,
that one. Like stuff like that, and you just like take the best parts of Inertia, Fit for a King, and Currents, all fantastic metalcore bands, put them into one. Here's your 4,000 monthly listener band called Ghostwave. How is this much talent here? It's insane.
It's nuts. It's genuinely nuts. I couldn't believe how small this band was when I first listened to this. We go back to the whole point of, we were talking a lot about catchy choruses. This has a catchy ass chorus. Yeah. More electronics, more good. Give me electronics in the breakdown. They're doing everything right, and it's not just formulaic. It's executed really well, and that's impressive for a band of this size. It's honestly kind of ridiculous, some of the smaller bands that we've talked about this year and the successes that they're having and the quality of the music that they're putting out. I feel like, if nothing else, 2026 has been very consistent on that front, which I think is a good sign of the health of the scene to come.
Agreed. Yeah.
There's a band that I listened to, what was it, 10 years ago, that's not doing any music anymore, but the vocalist sounds just like the vocals from that band, and I can't think of them right now. They got an hourglass logo, and it's bothering the fuck out of me, but I will find it at some point and probably have an epiphany in like an hour.
Perfect.
Because that's how it works.
Put a pin in it
and circle
again.
Back. Yep, exactly. Jake, you do great in corporate. Come sell your soul. It's incredible.
No.
Jake, it's time to generate shareholder value. Yes, one of us, Jake.
No.
Corporate lunches, golfing events. Yes.
What do the corporate lunches entail? Are chicken nuggets on the menu, perhaps?
I regret to inform you that no, they are not. They were for the 4th of July meal, was fish sticks and chicken nuggets, and it was highly disappointing.
Fuck.
It was, yeah, sorry. Well, no, it's not that the nuggets were disappointing. It's just normally there's like actual food in a cafe, and then it felt like,
how
for the
dare
4th
you
of July,
disrespect my chicken nuggets like that?
Okay. I'm sorry, Jake. I love a good nugget. I'm a saucy guy, okay? I love sauce with all my food. When I was younger, Applebee's, look, man, chicken fingers, fries, 4 sauces on the side. I'm with you. I'm not trying to diss the chicken nuggets. Just
Applebee's.
Yeah, back before that, that was my...
Does Canada have Applebee's?
Yeah. They're very rare, though.
They're getting more and more rare down here too, I will say. It's because they fucked up. Can I have the soapbox for 1 minute before we move to EPs?
Yeah.
My dream job. Okay, so when I was a kid, I loved Apple. And my dream job growing up, when I decided at like the ripe age of 6 that I couldn't be a meteorologist, my dream job was to become a manager at an Apple. And this was further exacerbated by the fact that they changed the breading on their fucking chicken tenders. It used to be so good and thin and flavorful, and then they made it crunchy and crispy like the ones that hurt the roof of your mouth. And so I thought, and they changed their barbecue sauce recipe too, and I thought that was my quest until I was like 12. I'm like, I have to become the manager of an Apple. Because I didn't understand how global supply chains worked or like what Cisco was. So I'm just like, yeah, fuck it. Whatever the asshole at my local Applebee's is doing to fuck up this chicken that was a big part of my childhood, bring back the old barbecue sauce recipe, bring back the old breading. I thought I was going to do it. That was going to be my job. And then I sat in a corner office at an office once, and I was like, fuck, I need a corner office. I can't have that if I'm managing an Applebee's. I'm going to become an accountant. Notably, I am not an accountant. But all that took was senior year of high school, 5th period, class I had every day, accounting. I got 3 months in. I'm like, wow, this fucking sucks. I never want to do this again.
It's so boring.
The rest of my life.
I didn't take an accounting class, but I did take a personal finance class. And I do have to mention that while we're on this side topic, that one of our things was at the start of this semester, we did like a mock investment, and we would track how well our investments would pan out by the end of the semester. And I wanted to invest in NVIDIA back in 2018 for this mock investment. And my group mate wanted to invest in some fuck-ass solar company that didn't exist by the end of the semester, and our group placed in dead last by the end of the semester.
They should have listened to you, Jake. You were on to something.
I was on to something.
Wow.
By the way, if you're looking to invest, Waste Management stock is oddly successful. It's like they're very consistent. I didn't even know they had a stock, and then I was looking at it. I'm like, oh, interesting. I think this might be this is not financial advice.
This is not financial
for everybody else, but
I just do banks.
Yeah, honestly.
Hey, while we side tangent, we gave Justin enough time to find the band he was thinking about.
I found it. It's been called Forget Tomorrow. It's so good. Highly recommend it. I'm very sad they are not doing music.
Is that one of those bands that's just not on Spotify? Because I know there's a couple of those really old bands that we used to listen to back in the day. And for some reason, that feels like one of them.
Probably. No, they're on there.
That makes me think of the After Image. Fucking Will Ramos's old band. I wonder how small they are nowadays. That band had some bangers. They were ahead of their time. Yeah, only 15,000 monthly listeners. This is your sign. If you want some fun technical music and you like Will Ramos before he started sounding like shit, go listen to Lumiere and Eve by the After Image.
Shit is a little extreme. Just say like.
All right, what do you want me to say? He sounded like poop. Like I don't know what to say, man. He doesn't. He sounds the same on every song.
He sounds like a pig.
That's him right now. Yeah.
All right. Side tangents aside, we got 2 EPs and 3 albums to discuss. Justin, once again, you've got our 2 EPs for the month.
We're keeping the Ghost theme.
Bangers. Ghost That We Knew dropped their EP Soul Tide with the final single One Day.
So I don't remember if we've talked about both Intertwine and Stay, but we've definitely talked about Intertwine at the very least. And it needs to be reiterated how incredible that song is.
Yes. It's basically Too Close to Touch, almost. It's got a very similar vibe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I would be careful with saying it's basically too close to touch. There is one and only one Keaton out there, but the comparison is fair. Like Intertwine, it has too close to touch energy, and that's a good thing, and for all the better.
I appreciate, I guess, to that point about the too close to touch energy, I appreciate the emotional notes that this EP touches on and the general theming, which to my understanding is about relationships and being kind of, not to name drop the title, but intertwined, whether it be emotionally or physically with your life with somebody else. And especially like One Day having that lyrical callback to Intertwine on the closer, I thought was a really nice touch. This it's again, smaller 3 songs. Right? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's hard, I feel like, to create a concept EP with this few songs and be able to stick the landing, but I really feel like this band did. All the vibes, it's not like the songs transition into one another flawlessly, but the vibes across all 3 tracks are very consistent. There's obviously a lyrical message that they're trying to deliver, and I think that for it only being 3 songs to convey that message, they did an incredible job of executing it and delivering on that. Again, another small band that continues to impress with the releases that they're putting out. And I have to say on Intertwine, we've said it a million times, catchy ass chorus. I mean, it's just infectious.
Yeah, I have that chorus written down because it just needs to be reiterated. As we merge Intertwine, the match that we lit should still burn for a while. As we fade into gray, the dark feels okay as long as you're with me. Now, my speaking of that chorus cannot do it justice, how incredible the delivery on that is. But that delivery on top of the like electronic backing instrumental and very orchestral kind of sound to that song, it is magical.
I really like how each of these songs, even though this is a concept EP pretty much, they all can act on their own individually. Like you don't need to have one. You don't need to have them all to have one exist. Stay is great. I think it's hard for me to choose between Stay and Intertwine. Intertwine I've listened to the most, but Stay I think has a lot of potential. And One Day, I really like the build-up of it. It's got a very incremental build with the instrumentation and how the vocals just get increasingly like more emotional. I really think One Day is a really good tie to end off this EP. Stay is great. It's got a really good instrumental breakdown. I love the second verse in Stay where the instruments pick up. The lyrics, "Can we forget what went wrong?" kind of come in. It's all just great. I really liked this EP. I wish they all came more close together. We got Stay earlier this year, but Intertwine I think we got middle of last year.
Yeah, it was definitely
and
last year.
I had more time with Intertwine, and I didn't get much time with all of them together. Oh no, they were both last year. Okay.
Again, time. It's flowing
Yeah.
a little too weirdly. I'm not rocking with it, man.
All that to be said, Ghost and We Knew, fucking phenomenal. I really enjoyed this. I'm glad I found Intertwine when I did, because it made me a fan, and I'm really hoping there's more.
Agreed. I just need to reiterate that the chorus of One Day is very much one of these songs.
Oh yeah. You put that in a live setting, it's great.
For audio listeners, Jake is holding up his phone like he's got the flash on, but he doesn't actually. Thank you, Jake. Yeah. I feel like that would have blinded me a little bit.
I'll do it for you.
No, don't do it!
Flashbang.
Please. Oh! Alright, just...
He's teasing
no,
us.
Don't. I look up, he's about to fucking flashbang my ass. Don't do it.
I'm about to flash you.
I'd be more willing for that, honestly. As long as you keep the camera off. Oh shit! No.
Oh shit!
Oh no! Not the double fisted.
My old phone.
Okay. Thank God for that. No offense.
Let's move on to our next EP here, Justin.
Oh yeah, we got Two Feral dropping their EP Aftertaste. I wish we could drown this The lone single for this was Let You Down, which dropped like last month or so. The vocalist of this is the vocalist of Outsider Heart.
I tried looking into that, and I couldn't corroborate that, but I'm just going to trust you on it. I couldn't find any link. But
is there some
I'll believe you.
Relation to Fever 333 with the triple number?
No. I don't think
what happened to that band?
They put out an album like a year or two ago. Well, let me see. When was that album? Yeah, they put out an album in 2024, and it had a couple of good songs on it.
All I remember is the 2019 song.
They had a song from Arcane.
That Arcane song is so good.
All right.
Anyway,
back to the other
This EP is fucking phenomenal. I really think this is top 3 EPs of this year.
It's a damn good EP. I do have some gripes with it, but I was very impressed front to back with this. And I think it is a very unique EP in terms of what I've heard in 2026 so far, and it is also very well executed for what it's trying to go for.
It's very, to pull I think probably the most direct comparison that I could. I think Sachi 6 is a layup for this. Both in terms of the fact they got a number in the band name, and the sound itself is very emo, discordant, inspired in terms of having that. Yeah, go for it.
The first song sounds like freaking what's his name, Sewer Person.
It does. It really does. Yeah, there's a very specific. It's not auto. I don't think is the right word, but inflection to the way that the vocals are delivered across this EP. And I feel like where this style of music with the emo tinged or emo rap style vocals combined with heavier instrumentation it really hits its pocket when the two aren't contrasting too heavily with one another. So I think that where this EP shines is especially on, to your point, Justin, the lead single, Let You Down. But also Loudmouth, I think, is an incredible example.
Loudmouth is the best song on this EP, by far, in my opinion.
That is a very fair take. I would say it's number 2 for me, but it's kind of interchangeable. So, you know what? Good take, Jake. I'll allow it.
First good take I've had today. Let's go.
But also, like, an hour and a half in.
Yeah, right? Half Heart and Oath, I also feel like pulled off that style and that blend very well. I think that where this EP falls a little flat for me are the opener, Black Dog, and Heaven is Full, track 2. I think that the instrumentation and the vocals, when you contrast them with one another, it's just a little bit too off-kilter. They're not really meshing, and I understand that the purpose is for them to have that differentiation between them, to create a very specific sound. But if you're doing that, they still need to be able to exist in harmony with one another, even if they aren't aligned. And I don't know how you guys are feeling, but for me, I felt that they were just a little bit too separate from one another in a way that kind of took me out of it before Let You Down brought me back in.
Yeah, that's my one gripe with this EP is Heaven is Full does not feel like it fits.
Especially when the rest of the EP, I feel like track 3 through 6, all, I wouldn't say they were cohesive with one another, but the sound was very similar to one another, and it felt like they made sense. And if you had a Heaven is Full, maybe as like a, again with the reordering albums, but like say you throw Heaven is Full into track 5, and then track 3 had a larger Unclean section, and it was like it made sense to put it into the flow of the EP. Great. As it stands, the Uncleans or heavy moments really feel like they're front loaded in a way that doesn't necessarily feel like, to me at least, that it fits with the rest of the EP.
The way that I would say is that the Heaven is Full doesn't feel earned. Like, you hear Black Dog as the opener, and you like kind of get a vibe, and then Heaven is Full is just, like, there was nothing in Black Dog to make you think that you could get something like that. And not to say that's necessarily a bad thing inherently, but then you get to the end of the EP and you don't get anything else like it. And it's just really messing with your expectations, and you're trying to enjoy your first listen to this, and you're kind of just like thrown on a roller coaster from frame 1 with no time to even process exactly what you're hearing because it's so all over the place to start, when in reality the whole of its parts isn't actually that all over the place. It was just such a rocky start that it makes it feel like the whole thing is rocky.
Exactly. It would be akin to, I think, putting Said and Done as the second track off of that Sachi 6 EP, where you get that heavy moment just to start it off. It's a little out of place. So I agree with you wholeheartedly. And it's a shame because I feel like the overall quality of this EP is very high. I think it's a very well executed proof of concept for this kind of sound. It seems like with Sachi 6 and Noah Thomas, I think is the other one, Justin, that's doing this style of music. It fits right in. It's well executed. I think there's plenty of room. Well, obviously there's plenty of room for emo and rock or metal music to coexist, but like that specific style of kind of emo rap vocalist. Not to say that they've necessarily done it before, but that seems to be the transitional genre that we see moving in between these. But yeah, I would love to hear more from this band, especially given that, like you said, Justin, they had their debut single and then it ended up on the EP. This is a very strong EP to start off with for a band, especially because it feels like they've found their identity and the style of music that they want to do. But I would love to see them take the two ends of what they're willing to do here and blend them together a little bit better to create something that I feel like would otherwise have been a strong, for me, EP of the Year contender.
Yeah, I really think this EP came out at the best time, especially with the Sache 6. It's such a high. I really think this style of song and music is really hitting its stride, especially with like TikTok and everything. So I'm excited to see where this goes. Let's talk about the songs individually before we move on to the next stuff. Half Heart is probably my favorite off of this EP. I love the chorus because we've been talking about chorus a lot this month, and this is another one of the more catchier choruses for me. Love the second verse where the instrumentals die down and you get kind of the electronic kind of vocal run of you're scared to lose everything because blood runs down your fingertips. And the chorus, like a pointing gun at your alibi, delivery is phenomenal. And Oath is a really good closer. I really liked the closing lyrics of now there's nothing left worth saving. Love the fade out on that. I really think it capped off the EP pretty well.
While we're on the topic of lyrics, I had the chorus of Loudmouth written down because I think that's the highlight of this EP for me. The delivery on lay down, sweat it out, the way you're coming at me, swear it's more than a fever. Yeah, you got nothing but a loudmouth. Just that pre-chorus into chorus is so good. But I also want to go back to Black Dog because, Derek, you're saying you didn't like Black Dog as the EP opener. It's actually my second favorite song on here behind Loudmouth.
Really?
I really enjoyed it. It's a very short song. It's only 2 minutes long. It just like hits you frame one out the gate with that like emo vocal delivery and that guitar tone that you get all across this EP. It really worked for me. It just didn't work into Heaven is Full, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think if it had a better, like a more complimentary track to follow it, I think that would have made it a bit better.
A phenomenal debut EP for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty sure there's more. There's gonna be more from this. This just from what I saw on their socials, this just happened on a whim, where they were just like doing music and stuff. And they definitely said there's gonna be more. So
awesome!
Excited.
I'm excited.
From a band releasing their debut EP to a band with decades in the game, we have Motionless in White with their brand new album, Decades.
This is gonna be fun, isn't it?
A certain choice of album art for sure.
It sucks. Can we get that out of the gate? This is so
Moving
terrible.
Moving on. Let's talk about the songs now. We don't have to have any more discussion about the album art.
Yo, he's in his 40s, by the way. Like,
no, stop. We're not discussing the album art anymore.
All right, hold on. Now one sec check. I gotta fact check myself. Chris Motionless.
Jake, you can cut this out.
No.
Nuh-uh. Oh, he's 39. Okay, he's pushing 40 and doing this. Very that's almost worse. He's not even out of
we can
midlife
get into
crisis
the
yet.
album. We can get into the album discussion. He's pushing 40 and he's doing this.
Dare I say that this band is almost at their best when they're at their cringiest?
No.
Red, White, and Blue exists.
True. And I would say that is the peak.
But like, the mindset I'm coming from with this is like, my favorite song of theirs is Code. You can't deny that Code is kind of a cheesy song. This album, track 2, Log In, Crash Out, basically just Code 2.0, and it's one of my favorite songs on the album. And you go back into their discography with other songs that are a little bit cheesy, like Werewolf is a little bit cheesy.
No, Werewolf's cool.
Werewolf is
cool.
I'll defend that song.
Cyberhex, maybe a little bit cheesy. Headache, kind of a little bit cheesy. Like,
you gotta choose like Broadcasting Beyond the Grave. That's the cheesy one.
That one sucks. That sucks. I'm glad that we have left that one behind.
I will agree with you on that,
Stereo.
Oh my god.
I'm glad that we have left that behind. But
they haven't left that behind. That's the whole point of the album. The album is to like show like different.
No, but they have specifically left Broadcasting from Beyond the Grave. The style is maintained, but they have left that duology behind for the better. Thank you. But generally, I think that like there's been a lot of criticism about like the lyrical content and just like the kind of cringe factor with this album. And yes, but I think they pull it off.
No,
I think so. I because I would say personally that they didn't pull it off, right? But that's not. I feel like I can't say that objectively. I feel like they pull it off if you are at the very least fairly bought into what Motionless in White is. And I think that if you're looking to give another Motionless in White album a try to say, oh, maybe I'll like this one, this is not the album for you. Because it is not presenting anything in a way that is going to make you like this band if you don't already. Me personally, I really don't like this band. And this album did absolutely nothing for me. I couldn't get myself to finish it. I thought it was
Motionless in White.
I was Motionless in White, Motionless and White. This album has zero motion. I was not a fan. But I also recognize that that's because what this band does just isn't for me. Now, Jake, I know that probably out of all of us, you are the most into Motionless in White. So what aspects of this
certain parts of Motionless in White?
Well, yes, true.
We need to lay the ground for that. I fucking love Disguise, and I've been very mixed on everything else I've ever heard from this band. Disguise is, for the most part, peak, but I found Scoring the End of the World somewhat forgettable. The album that came before Disguise with Voices and Rats and Loud Fuck It wasn't really a fan of that one either. It's really Graveyard Shift, Graveyard Shift, yeah. I just think Disguise is so incredibly peak. So many incredible songs on that album. And I think generally this album is closer to Disguise than Scoring the End of the World was in a lot of ways. I've found myself resonating with more of the lyricism, with more of the instrumentation, with more of the vocal delivery than I was on the last album. I enjoyed all of the features on here, even the Corey Taylor feature on Playing God, surprisingly. Especially the feature from Dark Divine on Blood Rave is great, and R.I.P. featuring Skylar Grey it's your hallmark ballad song from Motionless in White, which I think is absolutely an upgrade from Masterpiece. I think the stretch of songs in the middle of the album, All I've Ever Known, Blood Rave, Love at First Bite, Count Back from Zero, I think all four of those songs are awesome. And again, Love at First Bite, kinda cheesy. Like, Love at First Bite, haha, vampires, we're the band that does lyrical horror lyricism. Love at First Bite, whatever. I enjoy the song. It's fun.
I think, for me, the best way I could put it is that Motionless in White, just as a band, are like the musical equivalent of the Deadpool Wolverine movie. Where, like, the Deadpool Wolverine movie... So, have you seen the Deadpool Wolverine movie?
I have.
So, more so than any other Deadpool movie, it really felt like they were trying a little too hard to make a Marvel movie. And I feel like if you're really into Marvel movies and that's your thing, that's going to be your bread and butter. You're going to really like
Spider-Man tomorrow.
I heard great things, so fingers crossed. Motionless in White, also, with a lot of their more recent music, it feels like they found their pocket. They found their, I won't say shtick in the same way that I would describe an Ice Nine Kills, but that they found the aesthetic musically that works for them. If you love a Motionless in White album, this is them trying to make a Motionless in White album for the themes throughout the years. Bread and butter, great. Me personally, I walked out of Deadpool Wolverine. So I did. Oh yeah, I did. That movie was giga ass. Terrible. Dude, they were trying way too hard to make it was too meta. They were trying too hard to make a Marvel movie. I dipped. What happened to the glory days of Guardians of the Galaxy and Infinity War? What happened to the game I love? Unbelievable. No, and I like the other Deadpool movies, but yeah, I couldn't. I got like 70% of the way through. I'm like, I gotta go. I can't.
Did you get a refund?
Anymore. No, I walked out and I went to Chili's and got a triple dipper. So
I don't know what a triple dipper is, but
you don't know what a fucking triple dipper is? Oh, brother!
Next time you come to America, we're going to Chili's. Dude, it's crazy.
We did.
That. We did.
We went the last time we came here.
God, Derek's soup just sitting there.
No, I remember now.
It's like. Basically, you can get you pick and choose from like a list of different appetizers, and it's like $10.99, and you can get like these giant mozzarella sticks, like Southwest chicken egg rolls, chicken tenders. They've got little burger sliders. Oh my dude, sliders! I'm telling you, sliders, Southwest egg rolls, mozzarella sticks. They'll give you whatever fucking sauce. They will coat and dunk the mozzarella sticks for you if you want to be a real fucking American. You can get them in like buffalo sauce or barbecue sauce. Oh, brother. A Chili's triple dipper will change your life. You'll never want to go back to Canada. You'll move here. You'll be like, this is incredible. Why don't they fry more cheese
before I get back to Canada?
And you know what? That is also a part of the cultural experience. Every triple dipper is a gamble with God, and by God, I'm on a streak. Anyway. Yeah, so
Jake, back in Motionless in White. The other thing that I really found that I really came to enjoy with this album was more electronics, more better, baby. I mean, Motionless in White have not been a band to necessarily shy away from the electronics over the years, but I feel like I don't think they've leaned into it this much ever before. Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't listened to their entire discography, like back to Infamous and Creatures, but like the stretch of All I've Ever Known to Blood Brave to Love at First Bite, even Afraid of the Dark at the end of the album, you get some influences. Sunglasses at Night, that cover is very like neon, synthwave, vaporwave sort of electronic influence. Like there's a lot of electronic influences on here, and I can't say any of them made my experience with this album worse.
That's fair. And to my knowledge, this is the most that they've experimented with electronics. Was it all that I've ever known that had the random kind of dubstep?
Yup, and that's the best part on the album. It is so good.
That is a
best
really
song on the album, best moment on the album.
Actually.
The delivery, I have it written down. Nowhere to run. Now is your time. Go. Womp.
I want to say I'm usually not a fan of covers on albums. I think I can let this slide because of the concept, where it's like they're going through the years of their discography. Yeah, I'll let it slide.
Yeah, it's also, to be fair, it's a well executed cover, so I'll give it to them. It's a song that fits them honestly a lot. The whole kind of like they're like, especially with Werewolf, right? Like they picked a more 80s synth vibe for that song and kind of sampled, I guess, a little bit Somebody's Watching Me. So I don't mind them pulling a Corey Hart cover out of it. It's not Nowhere. They're pulling it out of a sound and experience that works for them. So it's no wonder it sounds as good as it does.
I will say on that note, though, that I do find the closing to this album just very confusing. Like, is Afraid of the Dark supposed to be the closer? Is Sunglasses at Night supposed to be the closer? Is Hollywood the bonus track supposed to be the closer? Or is it a bonus? Like, where does the deluxe part of this album start and end?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I hate when an album does that.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's like this through the years experience, right? So does it need to have a definitive closer? I don't know.
Where I would say is like, if I wanted to have a definitive closer, that matters when it comes to like considering this for top 10 albums of the year. Not that I really am heavily considering it for that, but like when I'm like, if I was hypothetically trying to rank this album in my top 10 albums of the year, it's like that ranking is very different if I'm considering Afraid of the Dark the closer, or if I'm considering Sunglasses at Night the closer.
I would go Afraid of the Dark if it was me personally.
That's where I'm leaning.
That's
as well.
so bad, though.
I mean, yeah, it's not a situation you want to be in, but that would be where I would choose to cut it off. But
so, like, if it were me, I would say, like, do the fucking Taylor Swift thing where you release the album and the deluxe album a week later, just so like I at least know what the actual closer is intended to be.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm sure, like, if there's some, like, Chris Motionless, he's, like, fairly active on social media. I'm sure that, like, someone's asked him, or, like, there's got to be, like, a comment somewhere, and, like, Afraid of the Dark is intended to be the closer, Sunglasses at Night is intended to be the closer. Like, I'm sure that answer is out there, but to someone that hasn't cared enough to dig and try to figure that out definitively, it is a little bit frustrating.
Whatever you do, don't involve yourself in Motionless in White's social media pages. No. It's a scary place to be.
I've had it show up in my feed like twice.
Bad Omens.
Yeah, for real.
You know, luckily
they've reached that level of popularity.
Luckily, the Twitter algorithm is really good at forcing bullshit down your For You page to drown out something after it's not trending anymore. So,
Jake, it's X the Everything app. What is Twitter?
I have an extension that
Wait, you do? Oh, share it with me, please.
It's called Calm Twitter. It is beautiful. It takes away the For You page on browser, and it sorts it into a following tab and a retweets tab instead of a For You tab, so you can't access For You on PC. It is
incredible.
One of the greatest changes for my mental health that I have made since 2024.
There's also an app you can get. I think it's called Social Light, and you can get like rid of Reels and For You on Twitter.
Oh.
You can get rid of Reels on Instagram.
Big fan of this.
Yeah.
Anything I can do to get away from the changes
tying into the lyrics of Login Crash Out. The login crash out, just like wanting to disconnect from social media. We tied it back into the album discussion. Look at us.
Incredible. This isn't this is all you, Jake. You got that one.
I guess if I have some gripes with this album, I've already mentioned that I'm like kind of confused on where the album is supposed to end. Decades is an ass opener. Like it is just it's a bad.
Bro, I'm still up in the air.
Like the whole like.
Unfortunately,
I don't hate the part where it's like I've been around for 2 decades. Fuck a tombstone. Like I've cemented my name in the history of this genre. Like the breakdown call out. It's fine, but everything else in this Decades is the one part of this album where the cringe factor was enough to take me out of the experience. I was fine with it everywhere else.
On the opener, I think.
Yeah.
That's a really good
and that's why I don't think it's a great opener.
That's exactly how I felt when I was listening to it the first time.
Now, Derek, you're going to be upset at that. I've still added it to my playlist.
Oh, you sick bastard. Get out of there.
Dude, he's just trying to get his numbers up.
This is unreal.
Well, because part of it is like, I think there's potential for me to like grow beyond the initial first listen cringe. So I add it to the playlist tentatively. Like I do, like that's why I add like Dance Gavin Dance into my playlist of like, I don't particularly like love the entire song, but there might be potential for it to grow on me. And in sometimes
just pulled out the trump card instantly. What do you want me to argue against Dance Gavin Dance for? I can't do it.
Like I didn't like Lyrics Why at first, and then like I circle back to it like a month or two later, and now it's like one of my favorite Dance Gavin Dance songs all these years later. So like,
fair enough.
Sometimes it pays off.
Fuck. God, I hate when you make sense.
Last comment I want to make on this album. Blood Rave. I mentioned the feature from Dark Divine already. I had not mentioned the like techno breakdown drop in that song. I mentioned the dubstep breakdown and all I've ever known, but it's followed the next track with like another very electronic, very club rave sort of breakdown, which also caught me off guard, but is also just as cool. Not as cool as the dubstep breakdown, but spiritually just as cool. So yeah, I mean, overall, like I found a lot more to enjoy out of this album compared to Scoring the End of the World. Login Crash Out, RIP is a step up from the past. All That I've Ever Known, Blood Rave, Love at First Bite, Count Back from Zero. Afraid of the Dark, even as a single, which I didn't love, has really grown on me over the months with that electronic breakdown and the huge chorus. Just like, yeah, I have faults with it. I've had faults with every Motionless in White album. But generally, the positives outweigh the negatives for me, and this was the album that I spent the second most amount of time with in the month of July. And the first most album I spent the most time with was one we discussed last month. So,
incredible.
Okay.
Are you sure it wasn't this one, Jake?
What?
You didn't spend a lot of time with this next album?
Not this month.
It's August.
Not during the month of July.
Confused. Oh, now I'm confused.
Get us to the next one, Jacob.
Jake, no, it's not going to work. I was going to say. Never mind.
E for effort.
Loathe have released new album, A Stranger to You. And it's their first album in 6 years.
So previous album, I Let It In, It Took Everything. Very highly respected album.
It's a bit of a scene classic at this point, honestly. I still haven't heard it in full for what it's worth, but
that's honestly, I don't think that's the next album on your list of ones to get to.
I would like to listen to it eventually, because I feel like for the culture I should.
You definitely should. It's yeah. Yeah. So this is a bit of a departure from that sound, I would say. The production style is different. The tuning on the guitars is different. There are the softer moments on here, I think, for the largest part, hit differently than they did. And the overall vibe, while still experimental, is much different. So when you have an album like I Let It In, It Took Everything, I feel like it's hard, or as influential as that album was, it's hard not to make comparisons. Having said that, Jacob, how are you feeling about this album as a whole?
It's better than I Let It In and Took Everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. That is not a common sentiment. You are not on the popular side of the field with this one. So I'm glad to hear it, though. I kind of agree with you.
I actually haven't heard anything about this album from like what people have said about it. But yeah, I think it's better. It might run a little long, but that would be like my one gripe with it. I just like the softer bits, honestly. Like, it's more variation throughout the album. I think the features are great. Block of Flats might be the best song of the year. I don't know. The spoken word is an interesting choice, but I dig it as well.
Mm-hmm. I feel like one of Loathe's biggest strengths is their creativity in songwriting, I feel like, and that in particular shows on a lot of the individual songs on here. To your point, Block of Flats, I thought that the way it breaks was really well executed. The ladder was great. Gifted Every Strength, yes. Obviously, we've talked about as a single. I feel like every song on here is well crafted and well executed. And I think that the production value and the layers and sound that they're able to create on every track on here is incredible. The softer songs, I think to what you said, the softer songs on here are also some of my favorites. I really appreciate the atmosphere that they were able to create. I think that there are heavier songs like Gemini on here that the way that they're produced make them hit much harder. And especially like the techno kind of dark techno beat in the background of that song, I thought was an incredible touch. I feel like the heavier moments on here are felt more through the production than they are the rawness of the instrumentation or vocals in a way that I feel like really shone on I Let It In, It Took Everything. Like, that was a darker, more raw, a little bit more visceral, I would say, album, whereas this is a little bit more polished. I want to put something out there and posture it, and I want you to tell me how you feel about my take on this album. I think that every song on here is a journey, and it's great to listen. Every song on here is extremely easy to listen to and get invested in as a journey. With the way that the album is structured as a whole and the length of it, I'm not feeling a cohesive start to finish journey across this album with the way that it's structured. How would you feel about that take? I would expect.
Like lyrically, yeah. You mean? Like,
Well, no, I would say sonically that with Loathe putting as much time and effort and craft into their albums and their work because there's a reason this was delayed. Because I looked into it, like, why is it taking so long? Apparently, they wanted to add more touches to the production and create a fuller sounding experience of an album, and I think that shows on every song. But I'm almost feeling a little bit like I did with that Carmen Jaka album, where there are moments or songs or the way that the album is structured where if you're trying to create that cohesive experience and tell that story front to back, it needs to flow and work. And it's not like every song needs to transition into one another, but to the point about the Two Feral EP earlier, you need to structure the songs in a way that makes sense to the listener. And I don't think that even if every song is a journey on here and compels me to listen to it by virtue of the production choices, when you put them all together, I don't want to sit down and listen to this album front to back because I feel like it's not willingly taking me along for that whole journey with the way that it's structured. And I think that in particular, Sorry.
I feel more set up in this album than for, like you mentioned, the Carmen Jaka album. Like where they added the random like spoken word bit in there. I feel more set up here because the album starts with the spoken word. And then it comes back to it as well. I also like Entrance also has like in the spoken word, it has like song names. I know I saw Gifted Every Strength in there.
Yeah.
Which kind of ties into the rest of the album for me. I think I don't know. For me, one of the things with I Let It In and Took Everything is it was hard for me to differentiate some of the songs because a lot of them are very similar sounding. And because it goes like you'll get like a heavy song, not as heavy song, and then like a spoken word song. It just adds more differentiation and more character to each song, and I can distinguish them better.
Yeah.
I
was gonna say I agree with that, and I think that's I've landed, I guess, on my answer to part of my own question is I don't think I have a single song from I Let It In and It Took Everything saved to a playlist. But as an album experience, I feel like front to back, there's a reason that it's as iconic as it is. Whereas with this, I feel like there are a lot more like individual playlistable songs, and to your point, they all have their own identity. I especially loved Fortress Down and Harder to Pretend. I thought both of those are fantastic. But if I'm looking front to back as an album, I'm not as compelled to listen to it all the way through because the songs all have their own identity, and so the flow is a little bit less cohesive than the previous album. But I think that might be an expectations thing, again, because I would expect Loathe to be able to pull something like that off, and I don't think that they hit that specific mark, but they exceeded it in others, especially with the way that they produce some of the lighter, airier songs on here. I saw people complaining that this album was too soft, which I think is stupid because some of the best moments on here are the soft songs.
What was the song that was a single? Maybe it was Revenant or Fangs, I'm not sure. I think it was Revenant that I didn't like at all. Yeah, I think it was Revenant. Because it was just so raw. But given the context, like it's right before the spoken word song too,
right?
Or right after. Sorry, right after.
Suddenly it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, I'm still not. this might be another gripe I have. I'm not totally on board with like the rawness of some of the production on the heavy vocals, or some of the heavy moments rather. It's almost too raw, like how I felt when that single came out. But their last album was like that too.
For the heavy moments, the guitars I feel like are tuned lower than they were on that last album. That it feels like the heavy moments aren't forced in terms of like, oh, the breakdown, you know, it has a breakdown that it shouldn't, but it feels like they're really emphasizing how heavy some of the heavy moments are through the production or the tuning, and I think that it doesn't work quite as well because of that. It's not that it's bad. It's just I was taken out of some of the heavy moments, especially by contrast of how atmospheric and light and airy some of the lighter moments were on here. It didn't feel as forced for me as some of those heavier moments did. Having said that, there really is no other band that sounds like Loathe. I feel like the closest would be maybe a Thornhill with their last album, but even then, there's a different kind of industrialness to this that it hits different. So they'll scratch that itch for sure, but I don't know. I'm perplexed by how I feel about this album because I like a lot of the songs individually, but the album as a whole, I don't know.
How long does it run? I don't even know.
53
almost
minutes,
an hour.
I think.
It's almost an hour.
55. Yeah.
55. It does and doesn't feel its runtime. It's weird.
Oh no, I would say it does.
Okay. Yeah.
There's also like something that like captivates me is like how they can make a song sound like so holy and unholy in the same in the same song. I think The Way It Breaks, the example. No, I can't remember what song it is. But yeah, Jake, what do you think of the guitar solo in The Way It Breaks?
Well, that is one of the 4 songs from this album I have saved, but I can't say I've listened to it more than 3 times, so I don't know. It's another one of those songs I added to my playlist. I think I might like this if I spend more time with it. Proceeds to not spend any more time with it for the most part. So yeah, I guess my quick thoughts are like I gave this a full listen because I caught wind of Fangs as a single, and I was like, hold up, did Loathe just release the first song of theirs that I actually like? Maybe this album will be worth listening.
You just passed the fuck out.
Yeah, this was a very boring 55 minutes, and the only album I've listened to this year that I was more bored listening to was the 18-song Shinedown album that ran over an hour long.
Oh man. That's rough for a Loathe album, man. We can't be. That's almost in sacrilegious.
The same way that Motionless in White is not for you, Derek. This band, just for the most part, is not for me. But shout out Fangs. That song is awesome. I got my one, and I've added a couple other songs as tentative. You know, if this comes on shuffle again, I wouldn't hate to listen to it again. And to be very clear, those songs are Fortress Down, The Way It Breaks, and No Stranger to You as the closer.
No Stranger to You is a phenomenal closer. I also think that, just to put it out there, Entrance into Block of Flats is a fantastic opener. This album starts and ends on very, very high notes.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, like the Way It Breaks, the ladder.
We can all agree on The Way It Breaks, it seems, so that's at least worth something.
That's the one thing we'll give to you, Jake.
How about Fangs? What do you guys think about Fangs? It's my favorite song on the album. How are we feeling about Fangs? To me, I think why I like Fangs so much is that it's the most
middle of the pack.
It's the most normal song on this album, I think, which is why I liked it.
That's, I think, the part for me that I'm struggling with is I feel like, because I would also describe Fangs as middle of the pack, but I would describe most of this album as middle of the pack. Like, there are so many consistently good songs on here, but there are only a few that I would really classify as great. But like, not in a bad way. It's like it's not middle of the pack like 5 out of 10. It's a generous middle out of the pack, like 7.5, 8 out of 10. But when Loathe's peaks are as high as they are, their floor is a lot of other bands' ceiling. I'm hoping for more moments that I could classify as great on here, and instead I think it's very consistently good. Yeah. I don't know. This album perplexes me. I wouldn't be shocked if this landed in my top 10 come the end of the year. Honestly, it's not there right now, but with time to spend understanding more of the way this album is, I would be very interested to see where I land on it.
I like Jake reminded me that it even came out. I totally forgot. But yeah, I wasn't really, like I said, I wasn't expecting it to come out, but it was a pleasant surprise when I saw that message, Jake.
You're welcome.
My understanding of the general consensus on this album from what I've seen and read is that because I Let It In and Took Everything was the impactful album that it was, everybody was comparing it. And it was not very well received, which is why a lot of people aren't talking about it. Which a lot of people are saying, yes, I like these songs, but I don't love it as an album. And I think that a lot of the criticisms that I've seen are very unfair if you look at the album from an objective standpoint. Not to say that people aren't allowed to have opinions. I just think that some people's opinions are better than others. So, yeah, I'm surprised that people aren't talking about this as much as they are, and that the reception has been what it is. I think that this is an album that people are going to look back at like maybe a year or two from now, and I think that the feelings on it, just widespread, will be much more positive than they are on release. It's hard not to compare, especially when it's taken so long. It's kind of like I See Stars dropping that dog shit, and not to say that this is way better than anything, whatever that album, The Wheel or whatever it was.
Wheel.
But
I just realized something, and you guys aren't gonna get it, but that I've just realized something. Okay, anyway.
Okay. When you have an album,
I'm not gonna bother explaining. I'm not gonna bother.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'm a little too terminally online in a certain niche sub-community of the internet for anyone else to possibly understand.
Yeah, but it's not
the wheel.
The wheel. Just that if it's kind of like putting out something like Treehouse, which was as influential as it was, and then you disappear for a while, the natural inclination is going to be to compare the two albums. And I think that once people move past that, the reception of this album will be a little bit different than it is on release. But no, I enjoyed this. I want more time with it. I wish that I felt a little bit more compelled to have more time with it by virtue of how it's structured, but there's a lot to like on here, both as whole songs and individual moments. And like you said, Jacob, the features were all fantastic.
They're so weird too. Like, so
yeah,
the one guy's a jazz artist. Mansur Brown, yeah.
And then the Bucky Sugar spoken word, which to me, I feel like of all the features were all good, but his spoken word portions were the highlight of the album for me, feature-wise. I think that, again, we've talked about this a couple months ago, I think, but just that spoken word is a aspect that's been utilized in the scene for years and years and years, but I feel like it's still very underutilized and easy to utilize poorly. But I feel like it was executed well in spades here. They did a really good job curating the vibe of the album. I'm going to take
this opportunity to shill From Rose Path by Dream State, because that album nailed the spoken word.
Yes. 110%.
Flawless execution.
What was that Silent Planet album? The second one? Everything.
Yes. Yeah. That album, lyrically, there's a lot to unpack there.
Oh, yeah. You gotta go through the footnotes too. Anyway,
it's crazy.
Any last thoughts on Loathe here? I feel like we've had a pretty good discussion on it, but just want to give you the floor before I take control of the wheel.
Go for it, Jake.
All right. Future Palace have dropped their 4th album, Resurge. the follow-up to 2024's Distortion, which was the first time in their career that Future Palace did not make my top 10 albums of the year. So, in a way, Future Palace kind of had something to prove with this album, that they still had the sauce.
A resurgence, if you will.
A resurgence. And boy, have they proved that they still have the sauce, and they have resurged. This is, without a doubt, one of my favorite albums of the year. Not to say that I don't have criticisms and flaws with it, but of any album that we have discussed up to this point in 2026, this had the strongest singles run of any album I've heard so far this year. Starting last year with Cyclone and Deep Blue, and then into this year, you had singles Supernova, Resurge, and Tidal Waves. Other than Deep Blue as the album opener, the other four are some of my favorite Future Palace songs, and like serious contenders for like top 10 Future Palace songs. And then that leaves a stretch of 7 songs in the middle of the album, running from Disintegrate through Symphony of the Clouds, where there's a lot to like in that stretch of songs. And now, this is coming off of only having had 3 days with this album, pretty much. So my analysis and understanding is not going to be like, I've still only listened to some of these songs a handful of times, and I still kind of struggle to distinguish some of these non-singles from the others at this point, because I've only had so much time with it. But what I have been able to distinguish of the singles, Disintegrate, you get some incredible new metal influences on that song, with kind of slower rap-ish delivery in one of the verses, the being like, you shouldn't stay here, you're just an imposter, a misfit, please disappear, crying out your stories for so many years, do you want the pity, do you need the tears? Really liked that vocal delivery, and it has a huge chorus, new metal influence as mentioned, which also kind of ties into Resurge. Next track that I've really spent a lot of time with of the 7 would be Thorns, kind of right towards the middle of the album. You get some of my favorite harsh vocal deliveries that Maria has ever done, in one of the pre-chorus lines of "Selfishness and dirty lies helped you to keep me hypnotized." That verse is incredible. And then we get into the last 5 songs on this album are insane, man. Ebb and Flow, Nightfall, Symphony of the Clouds, Tidal Waves, and Cyclone is an unreal stretch to end this album on. But especially Symphony of the Clouds, Tidal Waves, and Cyclone. The melody of Symphony of the Clouds has made it my favorite of the non-singles up to this point, having had 3 days with it. The delivery that Maria gives on A Symphony of the Clouds, with backing Silver Radiant Sky, a tragedy all around, it is leaving me dry. It is so elegant, so beautiful, such a somber, apathetic yet hopeful kind of delivery, which is where Future Palace have always been at their best, of being on a tightrope of walking that line between depression and hope, and why they have been one of my favorite bands for so many years. And they tread that line so carefully and so well, both in the lyrical content and in the vocal delivery and the emotion that you feel listening to Maria sing these songs. So Symphony of the Clouds, I absolutely love that song. One of the softer songs on the album, but then it has been a while since we have gotten a song like Tidal Waves from Future Palace. This is a piano ballad type song. The lyrical theme of this song is that it's written about Maria's younger sister, who they had some family issues growing up, and the entire message is, I want to be strong for you so you don't have to go through what I went through growing up. And as someone that has younger sisters as well, not to say that like my life growing up with my family was fantastic. Like, yeah, there were ups and downs. Sure, all families have ups and downs, but generally, for the most part, I'm very happy with my upbringing in my childhood. So I can't relate entirely to the message, but just a message of like the core of Tidal Waves is, when things are going bad, I will be there for you because like your family. That's what Tidal Waves means to me, and that is something that I can deeply relate to. And it's been a really powerful song. A song, one of my most played songs of the summer so far. There have been a surprising lack of songs this year that I've really been able to resonate with on a deep emotional level. And Tidal Waves, in a sense, has been filling that void for me. And it's also just that kind of piano ballad that slowly builds is not a song structure that we've gotten from Future Palace in a really long time. Like, we didn't really get it on Distortion. Let me look at the Distortion track list, but like the closest, we didn't really get it at all on Distortion. And then even going back to Run, at best, you're talking about A World in Tears, which is more of like an EDM kind of uplifting song. It sounds more optimistic and hopeful. So really, you're looking all the way back at Escape with Break Free Into My Air as the closing two songs from that debut album, some of my favorite songs they've ever dropped. And I have been waiting for them to do something again that scratches that itch that those two songs gave me and made it one of my favorite albums of 2020. Tidal Waves has finally done it for me. And then you follow that up with Cyclone, the lead single for this album cycle. Sigh, don't make the lead single the album closer. Don't do that again, please. But Cyclone is one of my favorite songs on this album. Getting to hear it live last year was incredible. Maria's delivery on the breakdown is phenomenal. The breakdown itself is phenomenal. Every single album that Future Palace have released, other than the debut when they didn't do breakdowns, really, there has been at least one, maybe two songs which has been like, this is genuinely a breakdown contender of the year. With their last album, Dream State was one of my favorite breakdowns of the year. They Take What They Want was also disgusting. You go back to Run with songs like Flames and Paradise, incredible breakdowns. Even Locked had a filthy breakdown. Cyclone is that one guaranteed Future Palace breakdown banger for this album, and they save it for the most guttural moment on this album of just despair to close the album off.
I've never felt more vindicated in a decision ever than finding out in real time from you that was going to be the closer and removing it from my playlist, because I really like that song, and I'm like, if this keeps coming up, the album experience is going to be ruined. Dude, I took it out of the playlist. I haven't heard it in 8 months, I think. To have and re-experience the orchestral backing in that song after the theme and the frequency at which it had come on, it made it hit 10 times harder. It's one of...
I knew the moment... A
single.
That's why I wasn't worried when it was released as a single and I saw it was the closer. I'm like, no, this song works as a closer. I can already tell. Like, I didn't think of it. I didn't think of it as a closer when it came out, but I see it and I listen to it again and I'm like, you're onto something. Now, would I have liked for there to be a track 13 as a distinct closer? Yes.
Yeah.
But by all intents and purposes, it is a great closer, if not my favorite album closer I've heard all year.
It's one of my favorites, and I guess I didn't have the same faith. I didn't expect it to land the way that. But I think that the choice that Future Palace made to really, I feel like more so than any other album that they've dropped so far, really lean into an orchestral backing instrumentation across, I wouldn't say every song on the album, but most of the album.
It's scattered,
Yeah. That it makes for a very cohesive listen. I also feel like vocally, Maria, I don't know if she's pushed herself, if that's the right term, but that there are moments on here where I felt like Distortion for me fell a little flat because a lot of the songs tended to fall in the same pocket, as they're all good, but the vocal delivery is a little bit samey. And there are moments on here, like with Resurge, where she gets a little bit more visceral with her vocals. Mm-hmm. Nightfall, I felt, did a great job of differentiating itself. To your point about Tidal Waves, to have that sort of different, slower song build and structure and get that ballad going that I agree has been missing for so long, that those moments are scattered throughout the album in such a way that compels me to go back and listen to it more. That I'm not just playlisting the 3 or 4 singles that I like from a Future Palace album because I know what I'm getting on the rest of the album. For me, with this, it's, okay, they've created something that's a level up. It's a step up. It's something that insists upon itself. Cyclone is such a good closer that it makes me want to give the album another listen again, that I feel like I'm ending very satisfied and feeling like, wow, that breakdown fucks. Like, this was an incredible closer. I felt the energy.
Do you mind if I pause for a second to read the lyrics of that breakdown? Because I have it written down, because it is one of the most visceral things I've heard in the past year. Where the fuck did I have it written down? There it is. So it leads into the breakdown with when I was the storm that I couldn't fight. No reasons to stay. My existence is a disease. Damn, I can barely move after all this violence that vandalized me. Part of this rotten human species. Depression is spreading just like black mold in the damp. Decayed, barely there. Just a shell filled with so many meaningless mantras that I preach to myself. Erase the archenemy inside of me. Reveal how I could hurt myself so blindly. Amen.
Incredible.
God damn, dude.
Maria did an incredible job, and I feel like the songwriting in general on this album, I wouldn't say that it's better, but it leans itself more into melodies in such a way that the songs tend to both hit and differentiate themselves a little bit better than at the very least they did on Distortion. I think that some of the artistic choices, like on Supernova, for the intro, especially to Supernova, were very well intentioned and well executed. I thought Nixie is another example of a song that lives on its own in a way that I feel like makes a lot of sense. I hate to say this, Jake. I think Symphony of the Clouds is probably my least favorite song on here, and I think that it is it has some of the weakest individual lyrical moments in terms of being a little bit too literal, and I'm willing to give them some grace on that because, again, not a American band, some of the lyrics and the way that they're going to be putting them out there aren't going to be as Americanized as probably I'm a little bit more accustomed to. But there was one, I don't have the lyric pulled up, but instead of like just saying fucking, she said freaking. Yeah. And I was like, it took me out of it a little bit, which was very unfortunate because I was feeling invested in the sound and the messages that they were trying to convey up until that point. And there were a couple different, simile isn't the right word, but I guess just comparisons or like lyrical motifs that were very on the nose in a way that I felt like the rest of the album had otherwise delivered on. But then again, you get past Symphony of the Clouds, if again, personal choice for me, and you get Tidal Waves and Cyclone, which in my opinion are probably the two best songs on this album. So I'm willing to give them a little bit more leeway.
I think I go
front.
there probably. I think my favorite song in here is Resurge, but then Tidal Waves and Cyclone are 2 and 3.
Research is incredible, man. The way that she kind of, that vocal fry almost that she does, it's much more raw than anything I feel like I've heard from them in the very least 2 albums.
Without a doubt, this is the best Maria has ever sounded, and I feel like she already had a phenomenal range to her voice, even going back to Distortion, even going back to Run. It is so, like... It's crazy to me that as someone that has been such a big fan of this band for so long, for it to be so obvious how much better Maria has gotten on this album.
Agreed.
Because sometimes you love a band so much and you're just like so enamored by the band for one reason or another that you're blinded by the improvements that they're making because like you just like it's like with Amaranth back in the day. Like I just loved anything that Amaranth did. So like I wasn't really paying attention to like, oh, Elise sounds better. Henrik had an insane growl on this song, or the guitar solos were crazy. I was just like, I fucking love Amaranth, you know? With Future Palace, I'm able to have those same feelings and also realize like Maria has never sounded better than she does on this album. In spite of how much I love the band.
This to me is proof of concept of what I wanted from Imminence in terms of Future Palace have their sound. Right? Like, this is undeniably a Future Palace album filled with Future Palace songs. I mean, besides the literal level. But just that Maria has built on and really come into her own as a vocalist and pushed herself to have those little moments, like on Resurge, that really shows that not only is she still good at doing what's made Future Palace consistently good, but also... let's level up. Let's take what we had from this previous album and add another flair to it. Let's make that next step. And the fact that they can do so while maintaining the identity of what makes a Future Palace song or a Future Palace album a Future Palace song or album is extremely impressive. I definitely do still feel like there are a couple songs on here that kind of fall into that trap of being... They're all very good. Some of them are a little samey and don't do the best job.
That is my gripe with this album. That is my gripe with this album, right? So I'm going to make the annoying yet obvious comparison that I need to make to get my point across here of comparing this to another female-fronted post-hardcore band that was one of my favorite albums of this year and As Everything Unfolds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Both bands, they're like, hell, they're touring together later this year. So I think that I am allowed to make this comparison. Yeah. But both these bands have released some of my favorite albums this year. And the comparison, the way that I analyze both these albums is that I think that this album is more consistent across the board. It is a very consistent album. And they took swings on songs like Supernova, on songs like Tidal Waves, on songs like Nightfall. But I don't feel like they swung as boldly as they could have. And I look back at As Everything Unfolds album that came out earlier this year, and I think of songs like Edge of Forever, Setting Sun, Set in Flow, that are pushing the boundaries more than Future Palace did here. And even if some of those swings that As Everything Unfolds took, I don't think were executed to their best, it makes the album feel less samey.
Yeah,
even if I don't like the individual songs as much. And I feel like this album could have benefited with just a little bit more variety. And I think now, granted, we've only had 3 days with this album, right? So like that stretch of 7 songs in the middle, I have time to figure out the hooks and the choruses and the lyrics and distinguish more of the songs with time. But I feel like Future Palace have proven the versatility and range that they have, and whether it's by choice or just by what they... I don't know what the reason could be. Like, they're obviously a very talented band, but for one reason or another, they have really... I don't even want to say put themselves into a box, but that's kind of how I feel about it. That there is a Future Palace sound and it's in a box, and at times they will poke a hole through the box, but they're never going to open the cardboard and take a step fully outside of the box. And I would love for them to take a step outside of the box. Let me bring another band into the mix here, Spirit Box. Give me a Future Palace songs that sounds like Silk in the Strings. Give me a Future Palace songs that sounds like Crystal Roses.
Yes.
Give me I would love for this band to do a little more. And then I think we're talking about a future where this band can definitive release my favorite album of a given year. I don't think this is it. It's a damn good album. It's one of my favorite albums I've heard this year, but this doesn't scream album of the year for me in the way that I know they can.
Well, and it's the good news is, I feel like on that front is it's a little bit different from how we felt about Caskets for a good while, where it felt like they weren't pushing their own envelope, but they weren't also then demonstrating on the songs that they released necessarily the ability to do so. Whereas I feel like with the songs on here where they do push that boundary, and Maria pushes her voice and they push that comfort zone. I mean, even this has more electronics than any other Future Palace album has, and they've delved into adding different production elements more so than previous albums. I feel like they're poking, to use your analogy, they are poking a lot of holes in the box in a way that other bands might just be comfortable with their sound and not show that they have that ability. I would love for them to take it then that step further on the next album because of what they've shown. Like if you gave me Distortion and told me, do I think that some of the differentiating elements on this album were possible, I'd probably say no, because Distortion was very safe. They've shown that despite how safe Distortion was, and despite how safe to their sound some of the songs on this album are, they are willing to push that envelope. And I would love for them to take that next step, move it up another notch, and say, okay, where do we go? To your point, a Crystal Roses, something like that. Give me a little D&B, give me a little auto-tune. Like the band is talented enough to do and play and sing whatever they want, really. And I would love to see them, just take that next step and give me that one experimental song, so to speak, that shows me that they have the proof of concept that they can do something like that. Because I'm seeing all the pieces here; they're just not put together. Yeah,
it's like this is one of my favorite albums I've heard all year, and it's not like I'm trying to downplay the band because I love this band. This band's awesome.
Great album.
Palace are incredible. It's just there's a sense of frustration in knowing that this is one of my favorite bands, and knowing that their ceiling is still way up there. They are not at their ceiling. There's still so much more room. And I feel like it's like the fucking Tortoise in the hare, and Future Palace are the tortoise trying to reach their ceiling. Like, I'm getting impatient here.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I'll wait. I'll keep waiting.
We know the tortoise wins, so it's all
the tortoise
good.
wins in the end.
Memphis may fire the hare. Yeah, spoiler alert. Sorry.
Last thing I want to mention, there's a couple other lines that I wrote down that I wanted to highlight. In Nightfall, in the pre-chorus, Maria's like very somber delivery early in the song of unseen and defenseless, waiting for a guidance, nocturnal, feeling restless. This gloominess feels endless before the chorus hits. I absolutely love the vocal delivery on that. And then in Cyclone, to end the album, they kind of double back on the lyrics of I won't rewind back to the cyclone of grief and fright, to I won't rewind to when I was the storm that I couldn't fight. And I think that's a really cool change up of the lyrics that they do throughout that song, especially as the album closer.
For sure.
That's all I have to say about Future
Palace.
Palace.
Hate Germany.
True.
I'm telling
the
you,
German
the peace
exception.
Talks.
The peace talks.
God, I forgot their name again. Fuck.
Our Promise? You like that band, right?
No. Neovice.
That's right.
They've extended their hand, the olive branch. And suddenly, the clouds have opened. Despite the cyclone.
I sure hope the clouds open when I go to Iceland next week. It's going to be a wrap on our July recap podcast. Be sure to follow us on social media, Hivemind Radio _ on Instagram and Twitter, Hivemind Radio on YouTube, Hivemind Recap Podcast on Spotify and other podcast platforms. Be sure to join our Discord server if you want to share your thoughts on any of the music that we discussed in this episode. And talk to us about what music you've been listening to. We'd love to have you in the Discord server. Any last thoughts for this month, fellas?
Excited for August, I guess. I hope we're ending. We're nearing the next 4 month mark.
August
so much
is
shit dropping in August.
August is Do we need to pull up? Derek, I know you've kind of been out of the loop with stuff, right?
Yeah.
Do you want me to read off the list of stuff?
Oh god, yeah, I'm almost scared.
August 28th.
Yeah, August 28th has Holding Absence, Catch Your Breath, If Not For Me, Colorblind, Beartooth, The Warning, Kami Kiho.
Are you fist fucking me?
No.
and Friendly Neighbor.
And
True. So that is, for that being the last day of the month, we're gonna have to think about how we want to structure.
Yeah, we might have to do our August recap a little bit later into the month of September to give us time to listen to all that.
September.
With that being said, I'm gonna just throw it out there. I don't know if we're discussing the Beartooth album.
Thank God.
And dependent, and like I'd also even throw out that maybe we could skip like Catch Your Breath, If Not For Me, in The Warning.
We'll see how they.
But we'll see how they go. If they're good, they're going in the playlist, because the point of these recaps is to talk about the music we've been listening to each month, and if the music's good, it's going in the playlist.
That is true.
Except for the one new Connecticut band that dropped a new song in July that I completely forgot about. My bad. And I'm going to gatekeep them until we can talk about them at a future date.
Lame.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode. Be sure to check out our 2 interviews that we did with Les Palms and Rain Division for our After Hours podcast that came out in this past month as well. Forgot to mention that at the beginning of the episode. That was really cool. We will see you with our August recap in a month from now or so. Maybe we'll do another After Hours, but I'm going to Iceland, and we just did 2 interviews, so I feel like we kind of could use a break. We've been putting out a lot of content lately, so join our Discord server if you want to get updates in the drought of August, I guess.
There's no drought.
There is in Virginia, I'll tell you
that. We'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.